Hi, everyone. Welcome to Mindful Crafts and More. I'm Katrina. This is your first time checking out my channel. Welcome. For those of you guys who are returning, welcome back. I really appreciate you just hanging out with me for a bit. So today I am going to share with you some of the items that I've created for the Socks Not Socks Challenge. It is just something that I came up with after talking with my yarny bestie Pricilla over at Distinctive Crochet. So, you know how you look at yarn and it is just so beautiful to you? And even though maybe you don't use that yarn on a regular basis, you just can't resist it. Well, sometimes that happens with sock yarn. And we definitely have good intentions on how we're going to use that yarn. But time goes by, and for whatever reason, we may or may not have used that yarn to make a beautiful pair of socks. But guess what? We can use that same sock yarn to be inspired to make lots of other things. So that's how we came up with Socks Not Socks. Now, I did an initial video and I showed you a few things that perhaps you could consider making using your sock yarn. I'm going to talk a little bit about those today, as well as the yarns that I use for them and everything. And I'm going to show you some new things that you may or may not have seen. In addition to that, I have an awesome slideshow of just beautiful makes that have been submitted by fellow content creators and subscribers. So you don't want to miss that, okay? So let's talk about some of the things that I've made with my sock yarn, all right? Again, some of these things you may have seen before. So the first one I made was an ampersand. And I made that after winning a beautiful book from Darlene over at Discovering Knitting. Now, Darlene has changed her channel, and I will put her new channel name on the screen in front of you. And please go over, if you haven't checked her channel out, please go over and check out her channel. She has some very beautiful things that she has made as she has been on her knitting journey. She is also a new author and has actually written quite a few books. So I want to say congratulations to Darlene for the awesome work that you have been doing, as well as in crafting and in the writing world. So that is just wonderful. All right. But let's talk about the ampersand. So this is the beautiful ampersand that I made. And again, I used sock yarn to make it, and I think it turned out fantastic. Now, the yarn that I used for this was Darn Good yarn, and it was the Indigo Quail colorway. And again, I just love it. You had to learn how to do a lot of increases and decreases. I worked with double pointed needles as I was working on it. And learning a lot of shaping techniques was wonderful. This particular pattern could be made small or large depending on the type of yarn that you use for it. And they had the pattern adjustments in there. So I thought it was great, and I had a good time making this one. All right. So next thing that I went ahead and did was I needed something to put my yarn in, especially small balls or small cakes of yarn. So I made some yarn cozies, all right? So this, again, I showed you before, was a beautiful knit yarn cozy that I made with some awesome sock yarn that I had purchased from the store. Now, I don't have the ball band, and as you see, compared to the actual yarn cozy, I have a lot of this yarn remaining. Now, this particular yarn, I believe, was for at least a pair of socks. So you do get quite a bit, but it may actually have been more because you see, I have a lot of it remaining. I not only made a knit yarn cozy, and this yarn cozy, I will put that information on the screen as far as the designer and everything, because I don't have it handy right now. But I will leave it for you. Has a beautiful design because it starts out similar to the way a pie scarf or a pie shawl starts out, okay? And then you go ahead and you do your increases and get it to the width that you want, and then you're on your way. And then I finished it off with a 2x2 rib. All right. Now, so I wanted to see what would happen if I went ahead and did it in a crochet. So I went ahead and grabbed my yarn and grabbed my hook, and I made this one. Now, this was not done with a pattern. It really was mostly just single crochet. And again, I wanted to see the stockinette stitch versus single crochet. And as you see, it really does compress the pattern quite a bit. So it does look different. However, I still like the way this one turned out. It just doesn't show all of the intricate color work with the crochet, but I do like the way it turned out. Now, I didn't want a plain one if I used a solid color. So what I did was I went ahead and made one using wool-like yarn here. All right, so this is wool-like, and for this one, I actually did an alternating using the back loop only, and came up with this one, and I really love the way it turned out. I think the pattern on it is very, very nice, and it really displays the beautiful yarn color well. And then once again, I did my front post, back post, half double crochet for the ribbing at the top. And all of these work great to hold small cakes of yarn, and yes, so you can make yarn cozies. Now, these yarn cozies were all done single strand for the sock yarn that I use them for, and they really don't take up that much yarn at all. So they're awesome. So try them out using sock yarn, just not socks, right? Okay, so next, after doing that, I went ahead and I had more of the Croy sock yarn. So I decided I wanted to make a beanie. So I just did a basic beanie and I doubled the sock yarn, and this is what I came up with. Now for this one, what I ended up having to do was I really tried hard to line up the sock yarn, and I used a lot of sock yarn in order to do that, because some of the sock yarns do not come in identical cakes or identical skeins, and that is the case for some of the big box sock yarns. So the Croy sock yarns do not come in exact skeins. So what you have to do then is find one that looks close, and then you have to do some color control in order to try to reach it at the same point. And that's what I did here. And I think I lined it up pretty well. This is doubled, okay? And I just did a basic beanie with a 2x2 rib on the cuff, okay? So yes, I love the way it turned out, and I love the way it finished also, right? Okay, so you can make a beanie with your sock yarn. And guess what, guys? It's not socks, all right? Okay, so next, what did I make? So I had done those things, and I showed you guys a beautiful book and gave an opportunity for 2 people to win this beautiful book for inspiration. So the book is called Sock Yarn One Skein Wonders. And I decided that I wanted to go ahead and make something that was in this book. And I chose a beautiful Mobius necklace and earrings. And guess what, guys? That's what I have on. So this is a knit pattern, and it gives a very beautiful pattern there. Very beautiful. And the whole idea for this one was to just use one skein of sock yarn. So the sock yarn that I chose was Patton's Croy, and I used the cadet colors for this one. Now I actually had more than one skein of it, but I wanted to follow the pattern, and because it was meant to be a necklace and not necessarily something for warmth, I followed the pattern pretty close to the way it was shown so that I would get the exact dimensions that they recommended. All right. So I love this scarf. It is just wonderful, or shall I say necklace? I'm probably going to keep calling it a scarf because I do feel like it is a scarf. So let's say it's a scarf necklace. All right. Now, this particular one, I need to give the designer. So the designer here is Grace Covey. Okay. And it's in the book that I just showed you. But not only did I make the scarf / necklace, I also made these beautiful earrings, guys. Look at them. They are awesome, and they are made by separating the strands of your sock yarn, and you are using only 2 strands to make your earrings. And I just love them. Okay. They do have this cross design here. They do have that, and it is just beautiful. They were a little bit of a challenge to make. I had to use very, very small needles. So I actually used my size 2 needles. Okay. And those needles were actually gifted to me from my yarny bestie, Pricilla. And I'm going to see if I can find them. Okay. Yes. So Pricilla gifted me these beautiful Chiagu premium stainless steel lace knitting needles. And this is actually a size 1. So I used a US size 1 to make these beautiful earrings, and I love them. All right. So who would have thought you can make earrings with sock yarn? How about that? And it's not socks. Okay. So I really had a good time making this. Because you're working with sock yarn, it does take a while to get it to the length that you want. But you know what? That's okay. I took my time. It has taken me a while, and I finally finished it, and I love the result. All right. Okay. So in the meantime, of course, I had to do something with crochet, and I made 2 items with the crochet. So the first one is here. Isn't it awesome? Yes, I love it. And it is called Bucket of Grannies. Okay. And this was from my cousin Angie over at Loving Every Stitch by Ruby Baby. And this is it. So in addition, I wanted a little something for it because I actually ran out of sock yarn, guys. And I used 2 skeins of sock yarn. I doubled it and made this, and I ran out before I could get the edge of it done. So what I did was I added on wool-like yarn by Loops and Threads, and I doubled that. And I did 2 colors to just kind of accent the edge on it. Then in addition to that, to add something to it so that it wasn't just that, I made this beautiful flower. And this is no pattern at all. It's just a beautiful circle in the middle. And then I did some chains and connected them all the way around to make this flower. And I do think that it adds a beautiful extra something to it. Now, what I think I'm going to do is add a backing on here so that this can be either a brooch or it can be something that goes onto the hat. So that's why I have not connected it yet. But look at that. This is a beautiful pattern that Angie came up with, and I love it. All right. It was very easy to do, and she has it available on her Ravelry store, and I believe also on her Etsy shop. Okay, so please go and check her out. She has just beautiful designs, and it didn't really take long to make that particular bucket hat at all. Just awesome, right? So you can use your sock yarn to make that one as well, And guess what, guys? It's not socks. All right. Okay, so next, what else did I do with my sock yarn? Okay, so I wanted to do something for the fall. And cousin Angie came up with a beautiful item also. And that was something that was in my honor. And I am just so appreciative and so honored that she did that. She made this beautiful cowl and ear warmer headband set called the Mindful Mix. All right. So she made the Mindful Mix cowl, the Mindful Mix headband and ear warmer, and just beautiful. All right. It came out awesome. And I wanted to make it. So I did. So I started out making it using this beautiful Heartland yarn. Okay, so I started out with that, and I really loved this kind of burnt orange colorway. And so I thought that screamed fall. And then when I made that, I thought, I think I can do this and also incorporate the socks, not socks. So what I did there was I went ahead and grabbed some sock yarn. So I grabbed my Penelope by Lion Brand, and I found a colorway that I thought would fit. I tried to double it like I had done before, but it didn't work because the yarn, I believe, is hand dyed. And so it is not exact for the colors and the strands. The colors themselves are the same within it, but the sequence of them was not the same. And I thought it would be a little too busy. So what I added to it was a solid color, and I used more of the wool-like yarn, and I combined the two, and I love the way it came out. So let's take a look at the photo of it as I was trying to work through it. So this right here is using sock yarn. So it's one strand of the Penelope sock yarn and one strand of the wool-like yarn together. And I love the way it came out. Now with the Mindful Mix cowl, it is just beautiful the way Angie designed it. All right. And you get a peak of color from the other side, and you could do it both ways. So you can have, for this one, the solid color showing with the variegated color that's peeking through. And I love it. I love the way it turned out. And thank you so much, Cousin Angie, for the honor of using mindfulness and doing this beautiful pattern. I love it. All right. And yes, so it's just awesome. So if you have not checked it out yet, please go over and check it out. We also had an opportunity to give away several copies of her beautiful patterns, and it was just awesome. So I'm looking forward to seeing some of the makes from the winners of the pattern, and I know they're going to enjoy it because it's just an awesome design. All right. Okay, so those are the things that I have made, and hopefully I have not forgotten anything. But next, I want to talk about these awesome content creators and subscribers. So I put a inspiration out there, and you know what? You guys did not disappoint. We received such beautiful items. You guys are just awesome creators, awesome crafters. I'm just in awe of what you guys have come up with. So you guys are just going to be just blown away by the beautiful things that people have made. So the designers that we're going to spotlight are the beautiful Pricilla over at Distinctive Crochet. She made some beautiful items, and she's working on more coming up soon. So please stay tuned for that. We have the beautiful Anvita. Oh my gosh, she has awesome awesome skills. Just beautiful work. So just wait until you see it. And she has been really working. She does a lot of knitting and just, oh my gosh, just beautiful items. So we have Debbie, who has also done just some beautiful crochet work. Oh my goodness. Wait until you see her items. Just beautiful. All right. So then we have um, Dimitra over at the Naked Snail. Oh my gosh, she has beautiful and awesome skills too. She's made some beautiful wearables and I just love it. Okay. And then we have, I want to check my notes because I don't want to miss anyone. We have, oh, she also made some beautiful hearts that you need to see. And okay, we have the beautiful Lisa, who made an awesome art wall design. It's just awesome. All with sock yarn, guys. And next we have Jodi, who just made beautiful shawls, just beautiful colors. I love the way she combined them and awesome, awesome skills. All right. And then we have, let's see. I know I'm leaving out someone and I don't want to leave anyone out. So we have HD over at Handmade Designs, and she showed us some beautiful sock yarn. So I am looking forward to seeing what she came up with in hers. She did a shorts video, and you will see if I have left anyone out, please count it to my head and not uh, my heart, because I really don't want to leave it out. But I will show you guys the awesome things in the slideshow. So please look forward to it. Okay. So now that I have shown you the items that I have created, I hope they have inspired you. I want to show you some more things that I know are going to inspire you. They have all inspired me, and they are just beautiful, from phenomenal content creators and subscribers. You guys have just wonderful skills, and I want to applaud you for these awesome creations. All right. I am just amazed at all the beautiful work. Thank you guys so much for allowing me to share the things that you have created with your sock yarn. This is a wonderful challenge, and I want to invite each and every one of you guys to come along, grab your sock yarn, and get creative. Make something, anything. It doesn't matter if it's a single ply of the sock yarn or if you use multiple plies of the sock yarn. It doesn't even matter whether you knit it, you crochet it, you weave it. Also, it doesn't matter whether you use one skein or multiple skeins. The whole idea is to just find creative ways to use our sock yarn that's just not socks. All right. So once again, this is going to be going on for an entire year. So you have time. Just grab your yarn and decide what you want to make and just get crafty. All right. So let's go ahead and take a look at the puzzle solution for the last video that included a puzzle. And this is what I came up with. And this is the puzzle for today. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you for watching my videos, for giving me a thumbs up, for leaving me kind comments. I really appreciate it. I know there are a lot of things that you could be doing with your time, and to come and hang out with me for a bit is definitely appreciated. All right. So if you haven't already, please go ahead, subscribe to my channel, hit the thumbs up, and leave me a kind comment. I do look forward to hearing from you anytime. So to each and every one of you, do everything you can to be mindful, do everything you can to be at your best health, and by all means, guys, be crafty every day. I look forward to seeing you again soon in my next video or one of yours. Bye-bye now.